My name is Ivana. I have scleroderma. I live with that chronic disease 6 years. Living with the chronic condition like scleroderma can make it harder to do some activities, some usual activities. But I accepted my condition and I use daily tricks to live more easily and daily basics. Getting ready for today is something many people are looking forward to. Scleroderma can affect any area of my skin. It's very hard to open makeup tubes because my hands and fingers sometimes get swollen and it gets painful. So I want to ask LeiLani, paramedical expert and makeup artist, to help me with some advice or some tips and tricks. Hi LeiLani.
Hi Ivana. I have some great tips for you that you can use to open jars. You can buy some little rubber pads at the drugstore, the utility store. They're actually used to line your kitchen cupboards, and just cut it into a square. It's great to choose jars that are wider, that you can use your palm to turn. So choose a jar that has a wider lid on it. Another quick tip is to put an elastic band around the lid, because I do realize that foundation bottles are a lot smaller. That way you can just put it into the nook of your thumb and your forefinger and just turn it, and the elastic will help just lift it right off. I would stay away from tubes, because tubes sometimes are, more constricting with the fingers. And lastly, I would suggest when you're looking for a compact, get one that has a magnetic top so that you're not having to deal with any latches and small parts. You can just flip it up and down.
Scleroderma can affect any area of my skin. For me, it's a lot of red dots. They call it spider wings on my face, on my neck, and legs, hands, everywhere. So it's very important for me when I going on work to hide that, to feel self-confident. It's really important for me, and I think it's important for everybody. So I want to ask LeiLani, can you help me with some advice that I can use when I put my makeup or going to work or do something?
So Ivana, some simple techniques in application to make it really simple is to find yourself a little cosmetic brush from the drugstore. The shorter the better, and the chubbier the better. That way, if you don't have the flexibility to hold it like a pencil, you can put it between your two fingers, almost like a cigar, and just grasp it with fingers straight. That way, it's easy application to just blend over without having to move your fingers in any way. Another idea is to use a cosmetic sponge, but we want to use a beauty blender because the beauty blenders have cut edges on them so that they have a flat surface, again, that the sponge can do all the work for you because it's contoured enough for easy application. Another thing is I would suggest using a creamy, opaque, hydrating sort of skincare concealer rather than a liquid. With the dry patches and the red issues that you have, the liquid doesn't give you enough coverage, and then we find that it gets too built up and then it doesn't look natural. And we want less is more and just very basic and simple. So look for a more creamier texture for a foundation.
It's very important for people who live with scleroderma to exercise. everything is good. Walking, stretching, it's important for the mental and physical health. I use some tricks when I walk. I use some ankle weights that I put on my ankle. Then I go out and do some walk. You can do it on your hands, you can on legs, and I think it's a good solution. It's helped me for my mental and physical well-being. Living with scleroderma means I get tired more easily and suffer from periods of fatigue. Then I listen to my body and do some rest. I usually make tea, listen to music, it helps my mental and physical health. It's important to take these moments and put yourself first. It's not selfish, it's necessary. Scleroderma can affect any area of my skin. At the end of the day, it is important to remove makeup and apply nourishing cream. I use only natural products because my skin is very damaged, and to help me, I would like to ask LeiLani to recommend me some natural things that I can do with my face.
Of course. I think one of the hacks that I find really is works for the skin is to put your cleanser and your moisturizer in the fridge. It calms and soothes, and it takes down some of the redness, and it just feels really good. Secondly, I think it's really important to use a foaming cleanser rather than a bar of soap or a cream, because this will make sure that it actually lathers up and takes all of the makeup off quickly, so that you're not irritating the skin by having to rub to get the makeup off. I also think that by using the same sponge that you use to apply the makeup works really well to roll the foam over your face rather than a face cloth. The face cloth is a little too harsh, and we want to just keep everything soft and, again, really easy to just use the fingers straight and move the foam around to take the makeup off. Another quick trick also is to exfoliate, because you're constantly having the dry skin build up, and that makes the makeup look really cakey in the morning. So if you just put a little bit of water and baking sugar, white sugar, on your sponge, and after you cleanse your face with the foam, just roll that granular sugar around and rinse. And that way it gives you the brightening to the skin, because a lot of times those dry patches create dull gray looking skin. So we want to slough off that dead skin cell so that we always have that vibrant glow coming through.